Scott Disick doesn't just collect cars. He curates rolling statements of power, luxury, and exclusivity. From fire-breathing supercars to ultra-luxe SUVs, his garage is a $3 million showcase of speed, style, and status. So what's sitting behind those velvet ropes? Let's take a look. Scott Disick knows how to roll in style, and one of the absolute crown jewels in his garage is the Ferrari 812 Superfast. And let's be real, when Ferrari names a car Superfast, they mean business. This beast is packing a naturally aspirated V12 under the hood, cranking out a jaw-dropping 789 horsepower. That's the kind of power that will glue you to your seat and leave anything else on the road in the dust. Now, when Scott first got this Ferrari, it was black, classic, sleek, but maybe a little too subtle for the Lord himself. So what did he do? He gave it a full makeover with a chalk gray wrap, turning it into an absolute showstopper. It's the kind of car that demands attention, whether it's pulling up to a Beverly Hills hotspot or just flexing in the driveway. And with a price tag hovering around $400,000, it is not just fast, it's exclusive. Scott has always had an eye for top-tier luxury, and the 812 Superfast is just another example of how he takes things to the next level. Whether he's ripping through the streets or just adding another masterpiece to his collection, this Ferrari is pure automotive perfection. But if you thought the Ferrari 812 Superfast was wild, wait until you see what Scott did with his McLaren 720S. This thing is next level. Originally, he picked it up in a clean white finish for around $350,000, but let's be honest, that wasn't nearly bold enough. So, naturally, he had it completely transformed with a sleek matte black finish, giving it a menacing, stealthy look. And it doesn't just look fast, it is fast. Scott went all in on performance, upgrading the exhaust system with an Armytrix setup, which not only makes it sound absolutely insane, but also helps unleash even more power. And he didn't stop there. He had it tuned to a ridiculous 900 horsepower. Now that is hypercar territory. With that kind of speed, this thing is practically defying physics. It is no wonder people say it looks like a spaceship. The McLaren 720S is already one of the most extreme supercars on the planet, but leave it to Scott to take it to a whole new level. It's not just a car, it is a statement. And just when you think Scott's collection couldn't get any more crazier, he goes and customizes one of the world's fastest SUVs, the Lamborghini Urus. But of course, this isn't just any Urus. Scott took it straight to the experts at RDBLA. They fitted it with a wide-body kit that gives it an even more aggressive stance. Then he wrapped it in a matte silver finish, making it look like something straight out of a futuristic action movie. Now, the Urus is already a beast from the factory, but with Scott's upgrades, it's on a whole different level. It's got the sleekness of a sports car, the presence of an SUV, and enough power to make just about anything else on the road look slow. And with the price tag hovering around $350,000, it is definitely not your average family hauler. And if you thought Scott's Urus was flashy, well, wait until you see what he's done with his Rolls-Royce Cullinan. This isn't just luxury. It is rolling royalty. To match the sleek matte silver finish of his Lamborghini, Scott had his Cullinan finished in a similar silver tone, creating a duo that screams both power and elegance. But before this refined makeover, the Cullinan had a much darker, more mysterious look, finished in black and sitting on what was once called his forgotten rims, likely a nod to a set of custom Fotogato wheels. Now, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan is already known as one of the most luxurious SUVs in the world, offering unmatched comfort, insane attention to detail, and that signature magic carpet ride. But in Scott's hands, it's more than just luxury, it is a statement. With the price tag pushing $450,000, this isn't about getting from point A to point B, it's about arriving in style. Now, Scott's garage is a mix of wild, high-powered statement cars and refined luxury, and his Porsche 992 Turbo S sits right in that sweet spot. While his Ferrari F8 Spider is all about exotic flash and his Rolls-Royce Cullinan is pure opulence, the Turbo S offers something different. It's the ultimate do-it-all sports car. The 911 Turbo S from the 992 generation is an absolute beast disguised as a Grand Tourer. Under the hood, it packs a 3.8-liter twin-turbo flat-six engine, cranking out a staggering 640 horsepower. That translates to a ridiculous 0 to 60 mile an hour time of just 2.6 seconds and a top speed of 205 miles an hour, making it one of the quickest cars in his collection. But what sets it apart from some of his other speed machines, like his McLaren 720S, is its everyday usability. This is a car you can take to the grocery store and the racetrack without compromise. Scott's version doesn't just blend in though. His Turbo S rocks a striking black and white color scheme, likely thanks to a custom wrap. And knowing Scott's taste, it wouldn't be surprising if he's upgraded the wheels, added bespoke interior materials, or even tuned it for extra performance. While his McLaren 720S and Lamborghini Urus have been heavily modified, he calls the 992 Turbo S a great everything car, suggesting it's one of the few in his collection he's happy to keep relatively close to stock. Now, in terms of cost, the base model 992 Turbo S starts around $230,000 to $250K. But let's be real, Scott doesn't do base models. With his custom paint, upgraded wheels, and any potential interior reinforcements, this car is easily worth between $300,000 and $350,000. But for a car that offers both mind-blowing performance and real-world practicality, it is a solid investment. Scott's garage is a playground of speed and style, and while the Turbo S might not be as loud or flashy as some of his other rides, it proves he knows his way around a true driver's car. But with so many incredible builds already under his belt, you have to wonder how long before he finds a way to take this Porsche to the next level. So, coming off the insane speed and all-around versatility of his Porsche 992 Turbo S, his Ferrari Portofino takes a slightly different approach, blending luxury, performance, and everyday drivability in a sleek drop-top package. The Portofino is Ferrari's take on the ultimate grand touring convertible, featuring a 3.9-liter twin-turbo V8 that pumps out 591 horsepower. That's enough to launch it from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 3.1 seconds, and push it past 199 miles an hour. So even though it's one of the more relaxed Ferraris in his collection, it is still no slouch. This car is about balance, fast enough to be exciting, but comfortable enough to be used as a daily driver. Scott's version is finished in matte white, which gives it a clean, modern, and slightly understated look compared to the more aggressive builds in his lineup. He's also had it lowered for a sportier stance, but beyond that, he's kept it mostly stock. And that makes sense, because for him, the Portofino isn't about extreme mods or over-the-top styling. It's about having the perfect convertible Ferrari that he can actually enjoy without the stress of a hyper-limited supercar. Price-wise, a stock Portofino starts around $215,000 to $250,000. But with Scott's custom matte white finish and lowering kit, he's likely sitting in the $250,000 to $275,000 range. Supercar Blondie even reported that this specific car is worth, quote, over $250,000, which sounds about right given the subtle yet premium upgrades. Scott himself sees the Portofino as a more practical Ferrari, one that sits seamlessly into his collection without trying too hard. And considering he's owned tons, and I mean tons, of Ferraris, that is saying something. Lord Disick's garage isn't just about speed. Sometimes it's about making a statement. And few vehicles turn heads quite like a Brabus-tuned Mercedes G-Wagon. Following the sweet Ferrari portfolio in his lineup, the G63 AMG takes things in a completely different direction. This isn't just a luxury SUV, it is a monster on wheels, with all the power and persistence you'd expect from a Brabus build. The base G63 AMG is already a beast, packing a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 that churns out 577 horsepower. Now that's enough to rocket this nearly 3-ton SUV from 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. Insane for something shaped like a rolling safe. But Scott's G-Wagon isn't just an AMG. It's been taken to the next level by Brabus, a tuning house known for tuning luxury vehicles into borderline Supercars. While exact details on his build are scarce, a Brabus G63 typically pushes anywhere from 700 to 800 horsepower, thanks to engine remapping and performance tweaks. Throw in a custom exhaust, some oversized wheels, and an aggressive body kit, and you've got something that looks and sounds like it means business. Now, with all that said, let's talk about cost. A stock G63 starts at around $180,000 to $200,000, but a fully decked out Brabus version? That can easily climb to the $300K to $400K range. Given Scott's taste for high-end modifications, his build could even be pushing $450,000. Which makes sense considering the $3 million total valuation of his top 6 cars. But this isn't just about price, it's about having an SUV that offers luxury, power, and pure performance all in one package. If the Brabus G-Wagon is all about power and aggression, Scott Disick's Becker Cadillac Escalade is the ultimate statement in luxury and sophistication. It is a completely different kind of Lex, one that says, "I've made it, and I'd like to travel the world in first-class comfort." After all, when you're rolling with a fleet of high-performance supercars, sometimes you need something that prioritizes opulence over outright speed. At its core, the Escalade is already an elite full-sized SUV. The 6.2-liter V8 under the hood makes 420 horsepower, plenty for a smooth ride. But this isn't a vehicle designed for drag races. It's about presence, luxury, and commanding the road in a different way. That's where Becker Automotive Design comes in. If you're unfamiliar, Becker is essentially the Rolls-Royce of SUV conversions, turning Escalades into private jets on wheels. Scott's Becker Escalade is likely furnished in a murdered-out black-on-black aesthetic, possibly sitting on 26-inch Forgiato wheels to give it that custom stance, but the real magic is inside. Becker specializes in bespoke interiors, meaning that Scott's ride probably has hand-stitched leather, high-end entertainment systems, reclining VIP seats, and maybe even armored protection. It's not just any luxury SUV, it is a rolling executive suite. Now let's talk about the price tag. A standard Escalade starts at around $80,000 to $100,000, but once Becker gets involved, that number skyrockets. Depending on the level of customization, these builds cost anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000. And given Scott's taste, his version likely sits in the $400 to $450K range, perfectly fitting within that $3 million garage. It is no surprise that Scott holds this SUV in such high regard. It is the perfect counterbalance to his collection of low-slung, high-horsepower exotics. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more insane celebrity car collections. See you next time, gearheads.